thank you all for your presence. In fact, it's an invaluable presence to march in London for a special ballot. Exactly about 50 days ago, we have gathered here for the same cause and submitted a petition to Prime Minister of India and Election Commission of India through Indian High Commission Office. Unfortunately, there is no reply, there is no response from officials whatsoever on this matter. So, however, we have not given up. I have a faith in a purity of our democratic demand. I have a faith in the importance of our cause. So we have not given up and we shall not give up. So I request everyone to join with us and campaign for a special ballot. And this is the Pravasi Bharat. Basically it's not non-political organization. So it's got a space for everyone who believes in vote, who believes in democracy. And ours is a genuinely democracy struggle. No matter how big it is, no matter how small it is. Even a single vote or a million vote. Each vote counts in democracy. So the government has to understand the importance of every single vote. And they should provide a proper feasible voting rights for every NRI residing abroad. And as you all know, this is a globalization era. The people are working across the globe. Working in other countries, studying in other countries, and basically to gain advancement in the respective field. This doesn't mean we should be isolated from our own country. This doesn't mean we should be deserted. So we should have a proper voting right and we should be able to cast our vote using a postal ballot. And to give a quick background, there are about 8 million Indian citizens, Indian passport holders staying across the globe, away from our motherland. So if you calculate, the Indian citizens sends 543 MP, Member of Parliaments, to the Parliament actually. So if you divide these 8 million by 543, you will be getting approximately about 15 to 18,000 votes for each constituency. So 15 to 18,000 votes is not a small number. It is a real significant number. And these are educated votes. So 15 to, for example, there are certain MP constituencies in India. MP has won elections by 5,000, 10,000 majority. So in those constituencies, these 15,000 votes will definitely matter. And these are educated votes. So these people will choose the right person to send them to Parliament on our behalf. So these are very important numbers. Government should understand that and provide us the special ballot, postal or online voting options. And this is not something new we are asking. This is already existing. This is existing in Great Britain. This is existing in United States, Germany, France, Switzerland, Malaysia, and even in the last elections, the Egyptian elections, even though they started democracy recently, but they allowed their citizens abroad. The people went to embassy of Egypt embassy and cast the voting. So why can't we? We are inspired, we are the largest democracy in the nation and we have an excellent postal ballot system and we should be able to do that. So that's the main reason we have all gathered here and marched, and many elder people and all the youth and all the interested people, and we are all fighting for this cause. So I hope the government will understand the point here. Basically, we have got the voting rights through amendment of 2010 Act. Unfortunately, they told us to be physically present in India. But who will spend 2,000 pounds or 1,000 pounds and leave their kids here and go to India for just on election day? So that's impossible. That's not at all possible. So it's unexpected to someone to go to India and to cast their vote. So we demand the government of India to introduce a special ballot for us. So I'll just read out the comparison with other countries because it's worth sharing at this junction at our gathering of London March. To start off with, US citizens residing overseas who would otherwise have a right to vote are guaranteed to right to vote by Uniformed Overseas Citizen Absentees Voting Act in 1986. So it's 1986 US adopted this process. UK citizens staying abroad has got a right to vote in 1985. So it's ages ago actually. And unfortunately ours is a bit delayed. They have provided a right to act in 2010, which is very late, but luckily and thanks to the parliament they passed the bill. Unfortunately the physical presence discourages all abroad citizens to participate in our democratic system. Actually it is a responsibility of government to make sure citizens, every citizen participate in the system. It is responsibility of the Prime Minister. They cannot just tell us, oh come buy a flight ticket and come and vote. Even if you assume 20% of these 8 million people, even if they say they are very patriotic and they want to go on election day. So 20% of 8 million comes to more than 1 million people. If they decided to travel on a particular month to go and cast their vote, there is no such transportation system exists in the world which transfers millions of people to India. There is no planes, there is nothing. So it's ridiculous actually. It's highly impossible. It's not at all possible. So, and I remember the Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh ji said the voting rights for NRIs is a legitimate demand. But our question to Dr. Manmohan Singh ji is how legitimate it is to make a physical presence mandated. So it's not at all legitimate. And 60 plus years of independence, being a sovereign democratic country, still we do not have proper voting rights for the citizens abroad. So all we are asking now is an extra largest democracy, a democracy for all, and a special ballot postal voting. So just to give a quick background about Pravasi Bharat, why we started it. I was searching online what is the polling percentages of India and compare it with other democratic nations. Basically the polling percentage of India average is 58%. And if you compare with other developed democratic nations existing in the world, with France or other European nations or United States or the remaining democratic countries, more or less, there are certain countries the polling percentage is more than 90%, and UK it is more than 75%, and it's India we are 58%. I don't know who is not voting. We can't judge because there is no appropriate data available online or appropriate data available on government websites. But I don't know whether it's educated people are not voting or higher class, middle class or women, men, but I'm sure that polling percentage is very less. So I thought, okay, why can't we vote even though we are residing outside? Then I searched online. There is no system. I thought there will be a system we can go and cast our vote at embassy, but unfortunately I come to know there is no system at all, and I have to go to India to cast my vote. Then I started, I discussed with a couple of friends, and I thought then we should start this campaign, and ultimately the polling percentage in India should increase. It is for the betterment of our society. It is to see our nation develop. It is to see our nation on par with every developed nation in the world. So it is not that the citizens residing abroad doesn't love our nation, doesn't concern about our nation. We too concern about our nation. We too dream about our nation. So let us fight for our basic right of fundamental voting and feasible voting right. So we have created a couple of online petitions. So please visit our site and sign the online petition, and we'll also meeting the High Commissioner official shortly now, and we will submit a petition on our behalf. So for this London March, actually we have invited every concerned Indian citizen, political, non-political, charity, student associations. So we've received very good response, and we've sent a lot of the people sent their best wishes. A lot of the Indian organizations sent their best wishes to us because they couldn't make it, because some of them stay in Manchester or Leicester or somewhere. So we are very proud actually. India is a multicultural, multi-language society. We are unity in diversity. So in a similar way, the Pravasi Bharat formed, like We are open to anyone. We have got space for everyone, political, non-political, every citizen, every organization who are concerned about the democracy, who believe in vote, we have a space for them. So please come and join us. And so today march, thanks for everyone for making it success. Our peaceful march and demonstrations are nothing but the roots of democracy. What we did today is the greatest act. I believe it will be remain in the history of abroad voting system. And I thank whole core team of Pravasi Bharat, and especially Ashok Dusari and Raj and rest of the team worked for past couple of weeks overnight to arrange all this logistic stuff and made this program successful. And I especially thank to Indian High Commission, even though it's Sunday and even though it's non-working day, they provided us an appointment. So let us hope we'll get a positive reply from a government this time. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thanks, Nag. That was really good, and I think every journey needs a first step, and I think he has taken the humble first step, and we'll be at back of you and supporting you. And please, as a request, I just want to convey everybody, and I request everyone to pass on the message to your friends and everyone, so that we'll be doing a number of continuous programs until unless we achieve this target. So that is for sure. So please don't discourage for any of the things which is happening ASAP if you're not getting results, but keep the fire in your belly till we achieve this goal. Thanks very much. And going to the next thing, I just request our chief guest, overseas BJP, Sri Lalu Bhai Perekji, to come forward, gives flowers to Nehru statue and give us a valuable speech, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. 1 second.
Friends, all of you are like my sons, very young people, and I am probably 2.5 times older than you. It's nice to meet all the young people. This is very good, and I must give compliments to Nagendraji, and he has done brilliant homework on the rights, voting rights, and what should happen in India. It's our birthright, and I think constitutional rights as well, but it is not narrated or given a law so that we can have a postal ballot. And I think it is right, even if you, as he suggested, that we should go to India and vote. If you do that, and if you go to your polling station, probably you may not find your name. So ballot system is the best way, and I support you. And what I will do, I will convey to the leader of opposition that this is the demand of the non-resident people, and we should have ballot rights of balloting. That's it. I'm going to convey to Sushma Swaraj, particularly with Nagendra Bhai's all the details, and that's it. I wish you success. And again I say, this is nice meeting you, all young people, and we should get together often as well. There are so many Garba functions going on. In Gujarat, I was a president of National Congress of Gujarati Organization. We have got 119 Gujarati organizations, and we are about 500,000 Gujaratis as well. And we must mix. Now I have tried in BJP that we should, all communities should come together, not Gujarati. That is enough of Gujaratis. Thank you very much again to give me opportunity, and I wish you success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks very much for your valuable speech. As sir said, even if you go to India, you might not find your vote. And it has happened to me. Last year I went to poll my local votes, and somebody already done my voting. So that was a thing which happens. So the next thing is one of the key thing which is happening in India, corruption. And there is so many people working in India back home to cut the corruption, and which is one of the key diseases now we are facing. Even though we have so much money flowing into India, still we cannot able to achieve anything, just matter of corruption. So I would request Mr. Kundan Sharmaji, who is an Indian Against Corruption activist, to come on to the dais and give us a valuable speech.
Hi, good morning, friends. I'm not a very good orator, but I'll just try to convey my thoughts and ideas. I'm not representing any organization. I just don't support corruption. That's why I'm wearing this T-shirt, India Against Corruption. So, I mean, the first thing that I would like to say is that we deserve what we accept for. So, if we have accepted this system, things is not going to change. So for any change, we'll have to make efforts, consistent efforts. And I would like to say a couple of things why voting is important. And if you have the voting rights, then whom to vote. Because first of all, why voting is important. I'm sure you must be knowing that this United Kingdom, the size of this United Kingdom is equivalent to Uttar Pradesh, the state in our India. And this country has ruled over the entire world. It's not that our country does not have enough money and resources. We have lots of money. The only thing is that we don't have the right set of people in power. So if we say that we are educated person, we are a literate person, we say that yes, we are responsible, then it is our duty to send a right set of people in the right position. Fortunately or unfortunately, it has been 60 years and we are still a developing country. We are nowhere close to a developed country. As Mr. Nagendra, he was sharing some statistics. I also got some statistics from the net. I would like to reiterate those, at least few of them. If you just see some of the European countries, like Austria, it has a voting percentage of 92%. Belgium, it has a voting percentage of 91%. New Zealand, 88%. Denmark, 87%. Germany, 86%. Even this UK has 76 voting percentage. And we have the voting percentage of just 58%. I just have to say one thing. You know who are those 58%? In India, there could be various reasons that why we have such a low voting percentage. We have to think on those reasons. There could be various reasons. In developing country, the voting percentage is very high. But in our country, in developed country, the voting percentage is very high. But in our country, developing country, the voting percentage is, it is very low. There could be various reasons. Some of the reasons could be that illiteracy, the difference between haves and have-nots is so high. The people who go and cast their vote, they don't even understand the significance of vote. So, if we consider that we are an educated person, we should actually go and use our rights. I'm sure you would have watched one movie, Rang De Basanti movie. Amir Khan का एक dialogue है उसमें, कोई भी देश perfect नहीं होता है, उसको perfect बनाना पड़ता है. So, we'll have to make consistent efforts. Okay, now the next question is whom to vote. That is a $1,000 question, whom to vote. I just casted votes 2 or 3 times, but whenever I went to go and cast my vote, I always had, we have some preconceived notion. Congress to chor hai, chalo BJP relatively thodi si honest hai. Let me go and cast the vote for. That mindset has to be broken. We need to change that mindset. Today, all these politicians, they come and say that अगर हिम्मत है तो सामने आओ, इलेक्शन लड़के आओ और यहाँ पे तब जाके आप लोकपाल पास करो. It's not specific. I'm not in support or against of any political party, but what I'm saying is the current political scenario, it is, people call it gutter. ये दिग्विजय सिंह और any Congress people, they say that अगर हिम्मत है तो आप पार्टी बनाओ, सत्ता में आओ. और जब IAC, when they started this movement, initially they did not have intention to go political. They started this movement when they were not left with any other option. So when they started this movement, then people started criticizing. इनका तो political पहले से ही motive था, इनको तो politics में आना था. I would request all of you to, the least we can contribute to this movement. Even if it is voting rights or anything. If you vote to the right person, if you send right people with the right power, with right attitude, then things are going to change. But if people like Lalu Yadav, I mean, if you say that there are so many corrupt MPs in the parliament, there, I mean, you can see the, I mean, the effect of wrong people sitting in the parliament. Chara Ghotala, Harsh Mehta Ghotala, 2G scam, CWG scam, there are so many scams. I mean, you just name it. I mean, it's not just one scam. And there are so many cases pending in the court. I mean, I myself, I would like to share my experience. I have lodged one FIR. My wife's gold chain was snatched by a chain snatcher. I basically belong to Delhi. So that chain was snatched 4 years ago. I knew the bike number on which those chain snatcher came. I went to the police, they did not lodge my FIR. And to lodge that FIR, I had to go till Commissioner of Police. So that is the system we have been, just because I did not accept that. I did not accept that, no, I mean, why can't I lodge my FIR? I approached ACP, DCP, Star News, Z News, Alsak, District Magistrate Court, and finally I complained in the vigilance against the police. I said, these police people, they are harassing me, they are not lodging my FIR. And it has been 4 years, still that FIR is going on, and non-billable warrant was issued against my wife, who was the victim. Just because every time, I mean, I used to get a summons from the court that